On this episode of Town to Town, one of the most interesting small towns in America, Cedarburg, Wisconsin, a city kept alive from its rich history of vibrant 19th century decor. What makes this community so special beyond what you see? And why do thousands of people flock here from out of this area to make it a getaway weekend destination? I give you an up-close and personal view of one of the most unique small towns you'll see in America. I'm Chris Nelson.
I knew. I was scared to come over here, Chris.
I left TV news and weather to go on an adventure and find interesting people. A town isn't just a town on a map. It has stories to tell, downtowns to see. Guess where I'm at? I am in Norris Springs, Iowa. And people to meet. It's Town to Town with Chris Nelson.
Mitchell County Regional Health Center, Osage, St. Ansgar, Riceville. Appointment same day or next day. Mitchell County Regional Health Center, your trusted healthcare partner for life.
Hundreds of thousands of tourists flock to a charming northern suburb of Milwaukee known as Cedarburg. Nestled in the Cedar Creek Basin in Ozaukee County, Wisconsin, the history predates the Civil War. Roughly 12,000 call it home, describing the school district as one of the best in the Badger State. No matter where my life takes me, I stay connected to this community and to Ann Conley, owner of the Stagecoach Inn. On this day, I'm playing the role of a tourist in a town that I've been intimately acquainted with for many years. And tell us a little bit about this covered bridge.
It's a covered bridge.
Can you tell I know this woman a little too well? Anyways, the span boasts a unique piece of history, and that's where we're going to begin. 40 of these structures once peppered Wisconsin, with the last one standing known as the Red Bridge in Cedarburg. Check this out. This beauty is made of pine with oak lattices. Built in 1876 and retired in 1962, Old Red now sits on the National Register of Historic Places. A covered bridge that paints a picturesque scene even today, an artistic vibe felt by the growing community of art professionals here in Cedarburg. Susan Hale knows to draw. Her home is also her studio. It's where inspiration is transformed into these beautiful paintings. All right, so tell me about the plein air that goes on every year, right?
Yes.
The week before Strawberry Fest?
Yes, it's actually my favorite week of the year because all the artists in the area and from all over the country come to paint in Cedarburg. Sometimes we have as much as 135 artists painting here for a week.
Beyond the canvases, Cedarburg works to capture the vibrancy and preserve the arts. There's the museums, the Pink Llama, the Cultural Center, and more, captivating culture for the young and old alike. You could say that mission hits home for the Wisconsin Museum of Quilts and Fiber Arts. Those here work to educate us all about the culture, the history, the social importance of quilts and fiber arts. They're even creating positives out of the pandemic with COVID-inspired creations.
Our largest quilt, it's made with 49 blocks, and she recruited some of her friends who are doctors, and she asked them for their old scrubs, so that's what you see here.
Once we were all quilted out, we hit historic Washington Avenue in downtown Cedarburg. We turn our attention to a different type of style. We're talking hairstyles. Every downtown spot needs a barber. So this has been around since the 19th century, this place.
Yep, 1886.
1886.
It's only been 6 owners.
6 owners.
Yes.
Wow. Keep in mind, if you need a little grooming, it's first come, first serve. But here's the cool part of Cedarburg. If you're visiting and aren't sure what to do, just park your car and walk. It's almost a mile-long strip of shops, coffee venues, and good eating. The diversity, the colors, and the overall vibe is absolutely phenomenal. If you get hungry, and I know you will, try taking that appetite to new heights. The Stilt House. Why do they call it the Stilt House? The story is Nick Shue, owner back in the early 1900s, asked permission for a second floor. They said no. So he decided to put the building on stilts and built a first floor underneath. Winner, winner.
This is Bon Vivant's hybrid grape that we grow.
Now be sure to sample something sweet or maybe something dry from one of the many wineries. With several to choose from, we decided to hit the Cedar Creek Winery. And like everywhere else, there's a story behind the building.
historic Cedarburg woolen mill. And at the time, in the 1800s, they were making the cloth for soldiers' uniforms in the Civil War.
The Civil War.
Civil War.
The woolen factory transitioned into a wine-making station in 1969, and then purchased by Cedar Creek Winery in 1990, where it has been ever since. I'm not much of a wine person, but I gave this red Cabernet a total thumbs up. All right, Ann.
We got another stop,
One more, is this it then?
maybe two.
Two more?
The gem shop down there. We're going in there.
We leave no stone unturned on this jam-packed day. The Gem Shop is a dream for any collector. Pick out any stone or rock and even make a unique piece of jewelry. Or maybe step out back to take a peek at the 8,000-pound petrified wood rock from Arizona. Is that enough rocks for you? Our final stop features those who protect the great community. The Cedarburg Fire Department was established in 1866. While the museum is full of old-time equipment and tells an impressive story, where the department is today is quite impressive as well.
To save the employees' backs, to save our backs, we have cuts that are lifted, they lift up. We have an automatic system that'll put them in. That, between that and the cut, is probably about $25,000, $30,000.
And you're probably wondering who is paying for this.
Maxwell Street Days, burgers, brats, hot dogs, beer, soda. That's how we raise our funds, and it's
Not from tax dollars.
Not from tax dollars. We're all volunteer here.
If you're not charmed by the delightful mix of unique shops and inns, cozy cafes, art galleries and museums, businesses nestled inside meticulously maintained historic buildings, and remember all within walking distance of one another, I'm going to send you back to Ann to get you back in line, who, by the way, has her hands full running that bed and breakfast I told you about to start our little Cedarburg day trip. It was built back in 1853, and I highly recommend you give a night stay here. I would. It's where I stayed during my time back in the Cedarburg bubble. Always look up, and God bless. Alpha Roofing Company leads the way in commercial and residential roofing, making sure your experience is top-notch. They take care of your issues the first time. Locations in North Iowa and Des Moines.